All right. So then the dev states, he says, sorry, I was on vacation. Alrighty. And he says, I think most suggestions you made are good. Oh my goodness. Oh, here's the suggestion. Let's read the suggestions. So the suggestion is give players a way to oust or kill notables so that new ones can spawn over time for a fresh start. This would also be useful for notables when the player already has significant negative relations. Penalties could also be attached to actions such as malice to loyalty, relation hits with other notables or lords, negative trade XP, prosperity hits, etc. Oh, we're talking about the supporter mechanic. All right, so the supporter mechanic, if you guys didn't know, for notables, which is the people in towns and villages, the supporter mechanic, it's like they give you influence over time if they really, really like you. You know what I mean? So they kind of like talk highly of you if you have a very high relationship with certain notables. For some reason, there isn't a set number of relations you have with a notable for them to become your supporter. It's very random, and it's very hard to even like make a how to get more supporters guide because it's very random. The devs have even said that it's super random and it kind of just doesn't really make sense, right? And AI have a lot of supporters. That's why they always feel like they have a lot of influence because they have a ton of supporters just from the start of the game, right? And you don't, and it's very hard to get them and get them randomly. But he's talking about, I'm guessing, how to make this process easier to actually get. Then he says, add a chance for notables to stop supporting lords who are neutral or hostile in their faction, regardless of relations. Okay. Add other ways for relations to go down for lords who are not part of their owning clan's faction. Allow notables, and then the last one's allow notables to switch support to another lord who has a high relationship with them, and if the relations with their current supported lord isn't below 50. That's interesting. I was wondering, can a notable be a supporter of, let's say, 2 lords, or is it just 1 lord? Because then it kind of makes sense how it's harder to get. But I have no idea. Like I said, I haven't seen too much information about it. All right, so he says, all right, so now the dev says, the first suggestion is a bit heavy on the micromanagement side. It introduces a lot of extra mechanics and UI, so I'm a bit wary of it, okay? And he says, an alternative to this one, which is micromanagement free, is the notables who do not support you passively lose power, so they get replaced by ones that support you. That's interesting. So pretty much take 2 things that we currently have, them having the supporter role and power, because notables have power, and the higher their power is, the better units you can recruit from them. So therefore, he's saying, I'm guessing if they don't support you, and let's say you're the ruler of the kingdom that their village is in, their power drops until someone has to take over and actually support you. Okay. Then he says, continuing on, we have the third and fourth suggestion, which have similar theme about relationship and support. Actually, we consider a system which you highlight as your fourth suggestion. Allow notables to switch support to another lord who has higher relationship with them, even if the relations with their current supported lord isn't below 50. You try it out, see how that works. And then he says the problem with the suggestion applied on its own is that if implemented as is, each notable has to check their relationship with all the clans in the game, which is not ideal performance-wise. So we decided against it. Oh, so he says like it's going to be like an infinity relationship check, because relationships change all the time. So it'd be just like this constant relationship check, and it would just kind of mess up performance. I could get behind that. Okay. Then it says one approach is that the notables can only check their owner for such a change. For example, if Vlandian support notable is under control of Banu Holun clan, the Azrai, it would only check whether its current relationship with the Vlandian clan and Banu Holun instead of all the other clans. Okay? He says this, however, introduces an additional check, which currently does not exist. While mechanics adding depth are welcome, we in general dislike rule exceptions. While mechanics adding depth are welcome. Rule exceptions. What is it? What does that mean by that? Oh, like that adds more checks. I'm kind of confused on that. Okay. Then he goes, another possible downside of this additional rule is that if nodal support the clan that owns the city, it becomes impossible for them to defect. This is, of course, might not be of importance. Okay. Then he says, I believe this is a nice solution that does not require any new savable fields. However, we still need a constant way of dropping the relations with the old owner. A simple relationship decay to 0 for the notable looks and works nice, but still introduces a rule exception, and relationships stay the same. For some reason, notables relations decay. Okay. I'm gonna keep it real with you. This, like I said, like I'm not too keen on the supporter roles, but pretty much what they're talking about is a way to kind of make it so the supporters pretty much change their roles more, and it's easier to actually get supporters. They're talking about a decay for relation, possibly, but nothing's really confirmed yet. Then he says, the ideas you mentioned make the notable support mechanic more meaningful, and I personally support these. However, like all ideas, they might bear additional costs which are not apparent immediately. True. But okay. So they like it, might bring it up, we'll see. Then he says, so the two ideas which I think would improve the situation are the notables who do not support your clan lose power and are replaced by ones who support you. Okay. Then he says the notables defect to you if controlling clans relations is higher than their current supported clans relation. Also, relationship decays. Then he says, what do you think about the ideas? Let's try it out. Let's put it in. Let's try it out. They don't seem too crazy. I know people are going to be like mad about the relationship decay, but it's like, listen, you know, it'll make it a little bit harder, but it is what it is. I think we could try it out if they want to, you know, drop this into a patch. We'll see how it works.